Welcome, guys, to another episode of Ease into AI with myself, Nix. Today, it's all about Claude, not because we're chasing the hype of its latest model. I think it's called Sonnet 4.5. I try and stay away from that because, all of these AI creators from Anthropic to OpenAI to Google Gemini, they're always going to be refining it and bringing out new models. And it was just by chance that I actually had this idea, and that's kind of what this video is about, to find a very cool way to explain what a workflow is, but I wanted it kind of pretty and visual. And I was thinking, like, what tools could offer that to me? And yeah, so my use case is I decided to show you how I would teach a workflow. Also, like, what is the difference between a workflow and an algorithm without using all the technicalities. So yeah, that's why I hopped onto Claude, and then I started to see it was like trending on X and Twitter that brought out this new model. I chose artifacts, and I'm going to kind of show you what that playground looks like because it's where I could quickly get my kind of document, living, breathing document that I knew that Anthropic would obviously code for me. I just had to give it a prompt. So yeah, welcome and follow me along. I'll show you exactly how I got there. So here is obviously the playground. This is where I would come in. It says, "How's it going, Nix?" This is Claude. And my prompt was super basic. Obviously, I'd encourage you to use something like a prompt optimizer just to get a better result. But I literally was like, "Morning, Claude, help me to please visually map out a beginner's workflow to show humans what a workflow actually looks like." And it was like a relatable example and no jargon, telling a story because that's how I teach. And then I said, "Make up dummy data, real workflow." And it was so quick. I literally just about got my cup of chicory. That's why I've called today's session Claude and Chicory, because I'm a massive espresso coffee person. But I think with all the anxiety and just the hecticness of current modern day life, I was like, let's try some anxiety free chicory. So I'm going to have a quick sip. Actually tastes very similar to coffee, just letting you guys know. So yeah, just from the basic prompt on my left, I'm just going to reduce the screen. If you come up here to the top, you can see that this is visually what it looks like, and I'm going to show you what the original output was and how I got to the one I wanted. And then behind the prettiness, this is code, guys. This is what's so fascinating about this time is usually you had to go and get a couple of degrees or you'd have to go to an academy. You would have to learn. This is hypertext. HTML is a type of web development language. You would have to learn how to structure this. I mean, you can see it's not easy. As much as I would love to be a programmer in my next life, I'm super grateful that AI has helped us to abstract the complexity. Within seconds, I'm going to quickly whiz past. Check it that it went and created all of that code. And it made it into this here. And I'm actually going to show you what the reason I made changes. I was like, well, instead of this fictional Sarah, like, let's talk about it being Nicky's coffee shop. So I asked it to please change that. So you'll see now how that's changed. And then I was like, oh, this is cool, but it looks a bit templatey. And there were emojis. And as much as I am an emojis person, I didn't think it really belonged. So I made quite a few adjustments before I pressed publish. And I'm going to show you that now. So here it is. I was like, you know what, use my brand colors. Let's go with, so my brand colors are actually black and white, but I find that the older I get, I'm super into pink. So I did black, white, and pink. It couldn't quite render my Ease into AI logo. So I was like, cool, we'll write it out. I'm happy with that. So yeah, guys, this is the end result. And I think it's for the, considering the effort I input, this is where AI is extraordinarily useful because within seconds, I've got this excellent teaching resource. And it's the reason I'm doing a YouTube video with you guys now. It tells a story which I wanted. And this is something I can use in other workshops. So I'm just showing you what the end result looks like and how thorough they've been in what I feel was literally like a matter of minutes. So welcome to today's lesson. It's all about understanding workflows and then also just cross-referencing that against algorithms. Before we get into this, a big thing for me is always check in with yourself. This is like my wellness pod coming out. So where are your shoulders? I don't know what kind of morning you've had, but mine's been quite stressful. So if you're finding that your shoulders are hiked towards your ears, like just let out a sigh, drop your shoulders, even close your eyes as I just did, and make sure that your feet are planted on the earth. So if you've got high heels or tackies, take them off and actually connect with the earth so you can actually make sure you're sitting nice and comfy in your chair. Because that's also why we get like tech neck and our shoulders and everything is reacting to sometimes how badly we are sitting. So this is my kind of wellness teaching coming out. And you can just do something so basic. We'll do it together. I'm just going to ask you to drop your chin to your chest and feel the beautiful stretch in the back of your neck. Let's do that together quickly. So before we do, let's inhale, hold, and then as you exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Just feel how gorgeous that stretch feels. Slowly bring it up. Slowly. Everyone's got different sort of situations happening in their neck. So see what your mobility is like. Try and see if you can't sort of crane it to one side, so to the left. And slowly back to center, then to the right. Beautiful. Back to center. Let's move the chair out and let's do a quick inhale with our arms up in the air. So inhale, pull that belly up, lift the arms up. Might not see my palms, that's fine, and bring it down. Exhale. 3 hands at center. Just feel the difference as you actually relax the body before you go and study something, before you want to vibe code. Just check. Maybe you need a 10-minute quick stretch. That was like super quick, and I'll do more videos on the yoga side, but back to workflows and algorithms. So here's my story. It's Nicky's coffee shop. As you can tell, I really do enjoy my coffee, even though I've got to be careful about the anxiety vibes. What's a workflow? I've addressed this because at the moment, like everyone I feel is workflow, this automation, that. And I think there's kind of this glazed look where people are like, well, what is a workflow? So for me, in like the most fundamental form, and that's what I said here, simply put, it's literally the steps that you follow to get something done and in order. So think of it like a recipe. You're making a cake for a loved one, maybe even directions that you're giving to a stranger or a friend. And each step is then building on the one before that. So that's kind of a workflow. And it is, as I wrote here in bold, it is broader, often more human centric, definitely than an algorithm. And then I said it details the sequence of tasks. So tasks are what you do in your day. And I think that's also what's confusing a lot of people. Instead of declaring that AI is coming for the entirety of your job, it will change certain tasks. I've seen it in my old profession when I was doing hiring and recruiting. It had this excellency to just quickly build Boolean strings faster than I could manually think of them and create them. So cool, we now know that it can do that aspect of the job, but there's so much more to hiring. It doesn't always get the right shortlist. Just because it can precisely craft this awesome Boolean string doesn't mean that the right person's in it. So yeah, that's another story for another time. I'm just simply saying that remember that a lot of what we do is task based, and it's cool that some of the machines take over those tasks because I think a lot of the stuff was either tedious for us or very same, and that's where the machines can help us. So, anyways, back to workflows and algo. What's the difference? So, an algorithm is also a step-by-step procedure, but this is to solve something like very specific. And this is more to do, it's the focusing of the computational side. So think computer instructions, think a lot of logic. So workflow, again, just for the difference, will define the entire end-to-end business process, including dependencies, roles, and the different people involved. So it's about the bigger picture of getting things done in the real world. So hopefully that's made some sense for you. Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, welcome to Nicky's fictional shop. I actually would dig a shop like this, but maybe with like smoothies and Buddha bowls and coffee. So this is what it looks like. 6 o'clock now. She's at the coffee shop, arriving. The first part of the workflow, she's got to get in the front door. She's got to unlock it. That's step one, and that's why I've said to her, cool, that takes her a minute, unless she can't find the keys in her oversized handbag. But you feel me. And she can't do anything else before that. She can't sell a filter coffee because nobody can get in the door. Nor could they pay her because the card machines haven't been activated. So the workflow starts with what starts the whole kind of process. And in this case, I need to get into my restaurant or my cafeteria door. The second step of the workflow, I'm going to have a quick sip. You've got to turn on all the equipment. Now it's a coffee shop. So obviously flipping on the lights, espresso machines, turning on the ovens. Maybe she's going to make, I don't know, cheese and tomato toasties or muffins. So the espresso machine, she knows it needs 15 minutes to warm up. So that's step two. And all of that, all of the switching everything on takes 3 minutes. Then it's prepping the pastries. So while the machines are warming up, Nix goes and puts fresh croissants and muffins in the display case. And she arranges them to look delicious and appealing. That's 10 minutes. Step four, stocking the counters. So filling the napkin holders, making sure there's sugars and cups and lids and all of those things. That's a 5-minute exercise. Step five, check the machine. This is important. I mean, what she sells espressos and coffees and teas. That should be ready now. So Nicky pulls a test shot. She obviously wants to make sure that the temperature's cool, everything's working, Maybe the frother, and that's another 2 minutes. Only now, like on step 6, can she flip that sign from closed to be like, cool, we open. Everything's as it should be. And so the first customer walks in at 6:30. So that whole 30 minutes, that is Nikki's workflow before she's even kind of transacted. So congratulations, shop's open. And that's only her morning prep workflow, hey? Nix has got a close shop. So let's fast forward from 6:30 to, let's say it's her early day. She closes at 4:30. As you can see, it says 6 o'clock there, but let's just say 4:30. So this is the end of day workflow. Now she's like, cool, I need to close the till and count the cash. And obviously she's got to stop taking orders and just make sure all the cash is in the till. And where I thought Artifacts was excellent, it actually gave me what was in her till in Randellas, because I'm tuning in with you guys from Cape Town and we work in rands. So cool. She's got $2,340 and $156 in coins. So she writes this down on a piece of paper. That took her 10 minutes. Now, cool Excel spreadsheet, because now she's probably going to check her the card machine sales, and that reflects $4,830, and that took her all of 5 minutes. Now she's calculating VAT, and the total sales collectively is $7,326. Luckily, the spreadsheet automatically calculates that. And now she knows what she needs to pay to SARS. And the rest is her actual income. So she's done all right for today. That's 2 minutes. Now it's like, cool, let's record the staffing hours. Like, who's helped me to keep this shop open? That was Tom. He worked 8 hours. Great. That's his rate. So she owes him $680. And she'll pay him on Friday. Another 3 minutes. Now we're coming up to backing up because computers, everyone has learned the hard way is computers crash. So she makes sure she backs up the spreadsheets and emails what she needs to her, let's say it's her Outlook. That takes 2 minutes. 12 steps in her workflow. This is now the final stage, is she puts the cash into the safe because she's not going to get to the bank tonight, turns off all the equipment, locks the door. And tomorrow she'll do that entire workflow again. And that took 5 minutes. So yeah, I think you can see how important it is to, before you automate, to understand what are the tasks that you do in your day, because they make up your workflow. And then at least when somebody is suggesting helping you streamline or optimize all of these like buzzwords, at least you can say, well, this is what I think I do in a day. And then they've got a gorgeous kind of blueprint. So yeah, as you can see, the day is complete and it took her half an hour. Everything's recorded and ready for the morrow. But yeah, this is my big idea. This is and I want you to be mindful here, please, or I invite you. You notice, and this is why I wrote it here, how each step happens in the order it does. Like I said, you can't sell the coffee when you can't even get in the door. And I've actually, it says it there. You can't flip the sign to open before everything's ready. And you can't do the VAT before you know what your total sales are. So, yeah, the workflow is the path that you follow to accomplish a goal, with each step building on the one before it. So, I really hope that simplifies workflows and that you understand it ties into the bigger picture of automation or how business processes, and maybe even you can start to think in your company, hang on, this job that Nix is doing here, we could actually get Peter in this department to pick up that, and that could free Nicky up for 5 minutes. So yeah, if you like the way I told this story, and this is how I teach, please get hold of me on LinkedIn. I'll drop a couple of, I think everything is on my YouTube channel, but this is legitimately me. I don't profess to be anything else. I think it's important to be yourself. That's a big thing for me, and this is me. So, yeah, storytelling, AI, wellness, automation, no coding. If any of those things speak to you or resonate, please, you know where to find me. Have a beautiful rest of your day.